Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My entire vanity is a mess. And that is because I just finished filming my gigantic declutter video. If you missed it, I will throw it up in the cards. But it took so much self-control to not immediately start reorganizing my collection, because that's what I like to do. As soon as I declutter, I like to organize the drawers, remove some things, change some things around, clean, put everything back all nice and neat. But I knew I was gonna film it, and I knew you guys really wanted to see it, so it took all my self-control to not immediately start doing that. So my entire vanity kind of looks like this. There's just palettes everywhere, there's makeup everywhere, I've got bins of product, but I didn't want to start reorganizing the drawers yet, because what I did do recently on my vlog channel, I showed how I got 2 new sets of Alex drawers. So now I have 4 sets of Alex drawers. I have 2 of the 9 drawers and 2 of the 5 drawers. The 9 drawers are basically empty right now, because what I really wanted to do is take the time to sit down, sit actually at my vanity and see where, and really get used to it and see where I would like to put each group of makeup. And I think I'm at that point now, and I'm excited and anxious to just finally start moving stuff and start cleaning and start organizing everything. So let me go ahead and show you where we're starting. So here is the current mess we will soon transform. Over here, I've just got a tray table I was using back when I was filming the eyeshadow palette Declutter, because I needed more room to place palettes. Those are palettes that have been decluttered. I'm saving for friends and family to go through. Up here, I've got my perfumes, because over here. So this is where I used to have all my eyeshadow palettes. Now that I have enough drawer space, I would like to move these and actually organize them by price point. So I would like a drugstore drawer, I want a mid-range drawer, I want a luxury drawer, and I want to better organize my palettes. So I would like to do that, so they're kind of just stacked here. And back here, I would love to actually display and store all of my journals, or over there, and all of my books, or over here, specifically my makeup related books. And I would love to buy more books about makeup and read more and learn more. So I'd like to have those here, and then maybe save 1 or 2 palettes for display purposes. But the perfumes, I found these cute little steps at Target the other day. They're just little 3-tiered risers. I have one over there and one over here, and I thought this would be perfect for storing my perfumes on. It'd be really cute for display, and also keep them out of the sun and out of where it's warm. Over here, I have my little squishy of Fran Bow. She's from the video game Fran Bow, and little Mr. Midnight. Oh, do not show off your underwear. That is rude. And then here I've got a flower crown. Down here are all the palettes I've panned. This, I'm thinking of making my sentimental makeup drawer. So this Too Faced Boudoir Eyes. This is so old I cannot use it, but I never want to get rid of it because it's just so sentimental to me. So I'm going to keep it there. This is empty for now. This is all of my other eyeshadow brushes I'm not currently using, and then down here are all the face brushes I'm not currently using. Back over here, these are the products I'm going to be listing on my Poshmark at some point. I'm not going to rush through that. Down here are lipsticks I have to throw away. I do not sell lipsticks. You cannot properly sanitize a lipstick, so I'm just going to throw those out, probably just make a trip to our local dumpster. And this is the first set of Alex 9 drawers. Almost every drawer is empty except for this one. I do have some products right there. Next we have the vanity itself, with actually my new vanity chair. I just picked that up a couple of days ago. That was actually from Amazon. So the tabletop sits on top of 2 Alex 5 drawers. Here I have my everyday makeup drawer in the first drawer on my right. Then I have my foundations. We have powders and concealers. This is a hodgepodge of lashes in the back and eyeliners, single shadows, liquid shadows. Down here are lipsticks, and since I was able to curb them just here I want to move those eyeliners and everything down to here, because I think that would store them really nicely. Here I have an acrylic container I purchased from Vanity Collections, and it stores all of my currently using makeup brushes. I have all my eye brushes in the front here, and then in here in this little container I have all my face brushes. And I loved having one container that kind of fit everything, so I didn't have to keep moving, more than one container every day. And then in here I just have my current sponges, though I have a lot more sponges than this in my drawers. On the left side of the Alex 5 drawers, up here we have primers and setting sprays. Then we have face palettes. Then we have highlighters. Then we have individual bronzers, contours, and blushes. And down here is now empty. And then over here in the new Alex 9 drawer, most of these are also empty, with the exception of right here. This is my new kind of on-hand technology drawer. I have all of my SD cards, I have my camera case, I keep my, when I'm not using them, my tripods and everything right here. This, I don't know if it's going to stay this way, but I've got all my makeup tools in here. So I've got all my extra razors, my scissors, my pry bar kind of thingies, all of my extra poof poofs. I've got some mini samples of things. I've got some extra soaps, which these don't really belong in here. So this is kind of where they live now. I don't know if it's going to stay that way. Up here I moved all my face masks. Up here I've got all of my lotions and my backup little mini hand sanitizers. And then all of my empty Lush products are back here so I can save them for whenever I go back to Lush and can get a free face mask. And then up here this is empty. So what I'm thinking of doing to kind of outline where I think everything should go before I begin moving stuff, I'm gonna take some painter's tape and like put a little label on each drawer, and with Sharpie I'm gonna go and like label what I would like each drawer to be. So I'm gonna get started on that. Okay, so I'm almost done labeling all the drawers, but I've started feeling like really nauseous, and I think it's because I had all the windows closed and I was using the Sharpie a lot, so I need a bit of a break. But let me show you where I left off. I also don't think I explained why I want my makeup on this side of the vanity mainly, and that's because it is next to this big open space. There's a lot more room on this side as opposed to stuck in the corner over there. And I think if I have most of my makeup over here, it'll be so much easier to start filming Shop My Stashes again, because I will have all this room. I could put a whole tripod, have it go over, because that's the main reason why I stopped filming those. Was A, I was kind of restricting myself to only part of my collection for a lot of the time, and B, it was because it was so much of a pain to film the Shop My Stashes stuck in that corner over there. So I think this is going to help a ton. So a quick overview of what I think I'm going to be putting in each drawer. So over here I've got my everyday makeup in the top, then it'll be primers, foundations, concealers, and powders, and then at the bottom we're going to have eyeliners and lipsticks. Up here we're going to have setting sprays, blushes, bronzers, and there might be something else in that drawer because I really don't have that many individual bronzers, face palettes, everyday tools, which are going to be the things I use every day, and I like having them right next to my everyday makeup drawer. So when I'm sitting right here, I have my everyday makeup, and then I've got my tools like my Q-tips, my face fan, my makeup removing wipes, and my towel. And then I labeled this eyeshadow other. I'm thinking all of my like individual pan eyeshadows, all of my eyeshadow primers, all of my like liquid eyeshadows, cream eyeshadows, those will all go in there. And then the bottom three are going to be eyeshadow palettes. So then I've just broken it up into luxury, mid, and then drugstore. I don't know if they're gonna fit. That's for me to like play Tetris with a little bit later. Now this side of the vanity I am still struggling with a little bit because this, I really want this this 9 drawer Alex to be not just like makeup and technology, but to be like my regular beauty. So I want to be able to put like my backup lotions, my deodorant, all that kind of stuff, and I don't know quite what I'm going to be putting in here, so a lot of these are still blank. But the very bottom drawer I have my nails. This is like my nail polish remover, all my press-on nails, my glue, everything there. Then down here, I'm putting everything for my individual makeup pans and empty palettes back there. These next two are empty, though I'm thinking this one's going to be a technology drawer because this one has all of my camera tech in it. For the other 5 drawer, I'm thinking of the top drawer being a new product / currently testing area. It'd be really nice to have that separate from my everyday makeup drawer, and I think this would help me a lot keep up to date with my new products. I can store the lipsticks I'm collecting for my next best of worst and black lipstick video, so like that kind of thing. This one, I'm not quite sure, it's still blank, but down here I want to put my sponges and my brush cleaning materials that are currently down here. So like my Sigma Dry and Set, my Cinema Secrets makeup brush cleaner, all of my extra sponges I want to put up here. And I'm thinking these could actually be office supplies, or this one might be office supplies. That'd be nice. Like all of my pens that I have up there, my notebooks that I use for planning, and that kind of stuff that wouldn't be included on the actual office side of things. So I'm gonna call it for tonight, but throughout this next week, today is Sunday when I'm filming this, so throughout the next week, I will slowly start shifting things to where I have labeled I think they should go, and then we'll meet again to see how I like where everything is and if we need to make any adjustments. Okay, so it's about a week later since that last clip, and I spent the week sitting here doing my makeup, trying to like solidify where I want everything, and I think I now have a pretty good idea of, for the most part, what's gonna go in each drawer, but I needed some drawer organizers. Now for a lot of like the 5 drawers and some of the 9 drawers, I did invest in like these custom acrylic inserts, but they're just so expensive. And I knew if I just did a little bit of digging, a little bit of measuring, I could probably find more inserts that were, you know, they would get here a lot faster and they wouldn't be as expensive. So I did 2 kind of little mini hauls. I did go to HomeGoods. I had a gift card from my birthday that I still hadn't spent, so I picked up quite a few things there. And I also placed a decent sized Amazon order. So before we jump into actually organizing the drawers, I figured I could show you everything I picked up. Let's do the Amazon first. So first I did pick up another roll of the light gray drawer liner that I was using. I like this so much better than like a white liner or a black liner because both show dust so much more, and I just really like this gray color. So I got one more roll. I think this should be enough to do the rest of the drawers because about half of them, maybe a third of them right now, already have this liner. Next, I picked up 2 of these kind of just square 3-sectioned acrylic organizers. This was a little expensive, but I already owned one of these in one of the drawers and I really liked it, and I liked how I could like change things around and organize it differently because it wasn't so big it took up the entire drawer. So I got 2 more because I have an idea of what I want to do in that drawer. Next, I got a whole set of these like modular acrylic drawer inserts. I'll throw the picture of the whole set up here, but they range from like this really small kind of square all the way up to these big rectangle pieces. And I thought having something that looked nice, cohesive, was modular, that I could kind of change around the way that I wanted to, would be really helpful, especially in the drawers that don't necessarily have like just makeup things. So it's quite a few pieces, so I think we're going to be able to organize some drawers really nicely with this. And what is nice too is that they stack like this, so you could like have stuff in there and then stack other things on top. And the last thing I got from Amazon, it's not necessarily an organizer for the drawers, but for up here on top of my filming setup, it's this coffin shaped palette holder. I saw this and I fell in love with it. And originally I was going to set this on my desk to like put my currently using palettes in here, but then Alvin had a great idea. He's like, well, why don't you put your previously panned palettes in here for display? And I was like, that's genius. I love it. So this is gonna go up here in my filming background, and I'm gonna have all my previous like empty pan that palettes in here. I love it. So that's everything from Amazon. Let's go through the things that I picked up at HomeGoods, and I have to give you guys a tip. Of course, if you're buying online, measure everything. I have been burned several times by just buying things that I assume would fit in drawers and they don't. So when I go shopping in person, what I like to do, I saw this on TikTok or Instagram, is measure the inside of the drawer and cut like literally a piece of paper out, so that when you're in the store and you're looking at like say this acrylic thing, if you have this, you can hold it up and say, okay, is this actually going to fit in the drawer or not? That way you're not buying things and returning them and everything else, and then you can see if it's a modular kind of set, whether or not, you know, how many of them you can fit, right? So this helped a ton with everything that we picked up from HomeGoods, not Marshall's. So first I got 2 of these kind of acrylic drawer inserts. They're called the Precision Beauty Multi-Use Organizers, and these are not modular, but I liked the size. It wasn't going to take up the entire drawer, so I would have a little room on the front and back and a little room on the side to put like things that might not fit. But I liked the size of these and the fact that it was specifically made for beauty. I think I could get a lot of use out of these in these drawers. And these are both $12.99. Next, I got this 4-piece just kind of modular set, 1 kind of long rectangle and 3 small ones. And this I kind of pictured for like the like makeup tools section that I have, maybe makeup brushes, maybe office supplies. I just thought this was a nice little set, and this was $9.99. And then I picked up 2 of these. So these are both $7.99 each, and they're a 5 set, and they're just extra small multi-use organizers. So there's like little rectangles, and the way that I measured it out is I think you could fit 2 of them side by side in the drawer, or you could fit a couple this way. And they just looked really, really nice. I liked that they were, again, like the clear plastic acrylic, and they had like a little like dark gray kind of top. They do stack, as you can see, so you wouldn't be able to stack things inside of them, but if I end up not using these right now and I want to save them, I could just, you know, store them like this. So I picked up 2 because I kind of was picturing this for like the technology bin where I have like cables and everything else that I want to put together. And I think I already said, but those are both $7.99. So those are all the organizers that I got. We do have plenty of drawers to work through. So I think we're gonna go ahead and start putting these to use. So it's finally done. We finished organizing every single drawer on the vanity side, and I am so happy with how everything turned out. So let me give you guys a full final tour. Also, please ignore like my eyes. I've been like kicked in the face with allergies recently because I'm in New Jersey, and like over the last week we went from like freezing, almost snowing, to 80 degrees, and now it's like 70, and it's killing us. And I've taken many allergy pills and they're still kicking in, so excuse me. So here we are, the completed vanity. Let's start over here. So on the table, I still have my favorite tablecloth. I'm pretty sure I got this from like the Halloween section of either a Marshall's, TJ Maxx, or a Target. In this acrylic organizer, on the bottom 2 drawers, I have my backup makeup brushes that I still use in rotation. And the next 2 drawers are makeup products I am going to be selling on my Poshmark page. It's probably going to be a couple of weeks. I'll clean everything up, sanitize it real good, and then list it for sale. Up here, I have a plushie from the video game Fran Bow. I absolutely love that game, and I did the Makeship campaign to get a limited edition plushie. So I have Fran and Mr. Midnight in a cute little cauldron with a Dionysian flower crown on top. And in the top section of the acrylic organizer, I'm just gonna go ahead and start putting all of my sentimental makeup, like the makeup that is like super sentimental to me that I don't use anymore. So what I have in here right now is the Too Faced Boudoir Eyes palette. That thing is so old, I can't use it, but it's so sentimental and I don't want to get rid of it, so it stays here. Next, I have this cute set of stairs from Target with like half of my perfume collection on top of it. And then we get over into my books. These are all of my makeup books, and I really want to get more. I want to read more, I want to research more, I want to learn more. So I've got makeup books. This is the Sigma brush case. And then over here I get into journals. I also wanted to have space up here just to put my journals and my notebooks, so I thought this would be a really good spot to put them. Then we have the second set of the cute stairs from Target, and I just found that in the dollar section at Target. And then I have the other half of my perfume collection, and actually some of these are Alvin's as well. And over here, I'm so happy with how this corner turned out. I have that coffin organizer with all of my Pan That palettes in it. I did have to like open the Subculture one because I was gonna like scratch it since it didn't fit, but I'm really happy with how that looks. And then I have this skull over here. I might put in some products, maybe some flowers or something. My best friend made this for me a couple of years ago. And then there is a little bit of space in between here that I'm just gonna leave open because I am planning on getting like more books and notebooks, so I kind of want room for it to grow. So that's everything on this side. I kept the decorations the same over here. I just kind of literally shifted them over by like a foot. So I have a couple of purses that have been given to me as gifts, and then the middle one was a gift. I think that was from Marshall's. The ones on the end are both from Spirit Halloween. And then the flower crowns up top, the left 2, so this one and this one, both from Spirit Halloween. That I think was Forever 21 forever ago. And then coming down here, I don't know if I ever mentioned it, but I did get this chair off of Amazon. Now for the actual vanity. I am so happy with how I eventually organized everything. So I have the majority of my actual makeup collection in these 2 sets of drawers. And then everything over here is kind of more general office supplies, beauty supplies, technology, etc. So I'm going to do a quick rundown of what ended up being in each drawer, because since I organized everything that you guys just saw, I did just tweak and make a couple of small adjustments. Let's start with the first Alex 9 drawer. I have my MacBook Air up top. This first drawer has individual bronzers, contours, and lashes. And what I need to do across the board is get some smaller Z palettes or Z palette-like palettes. I don't like having these big Z palettes. They don't really fit in these drawers anymore. And I just kind of want to individually package these and put them like into the collection. So I'm gonna look into that. I'm hoping I can find something on Amazon, but for now it's gonna go back here. But my goal would be to, once I actually get smaller palettes, I can actually separate them out into bronzers and contours. In this drawer we have our highlighters. In this drawer we have our blushes, and I'm so happy with how cute this turned out, and there's plenty of room in here too. In this drawer we have face palettes, and it looks a little full because I do have the Z palettes from the highlighter drawer and the blush drawer that I need to get individual smaller palettes for, but until then they're going to be here in the face palette drawer. This one hasn't changed. This is my everyday makeup tools drawer. Then we have the miscellaneous eyeshadow drawer that I'm very happy with, and again there is a little bit of room for growth here, but I'm trying not to buy too many liquid eyeshadows because they can dry out pretty fast. This next drawer are my luxury eyeshadow palettes. So it's mainly Natasha Denona and a Viseart palette. I kind of want to experiment a little bit more and try some more luxury palettes, but I have to admit a lot of the luxury price point items I've tried have been kind of bunk. Other than Natasha, I do like the Natasha formula. So if you guys have any recommendations or if you'd be interested in seeing me try anything, let me know. And this I ended up switching out. So the next drawer down used to be mid eyeshadow palettes, but I had so many mid-range, mid-price point range eyeshadow palettes, I moved that to the bottom drawer. So the second drawer, or the second from the bottom, are the drugstore eyeshadow palettes. And I'm thinking of adding another little container like this to hold the smaller palettes, kind of like the e.l.f. ones over here, but I do like having it organized by brand. So I have like the BH Cosmetics back here. This is Wet n Wild. This is the Midas Cosmetics. I've got ColourPop. I've got e.l.f. I kind of like having it organized like that. And last but not least for this, the most packed drawer, so this is the mid-ranged eyeshadow palettes. I should have probably left a little bit of room for growth, but I think, you know, it's probably good. This way I don't buy anymore. That's another perk of having eyeshadow palettes in actual drawers, is that you can only fit so many, right? So eventually there comes a point where I'm either gonna have to declutter to bring more in, or I just have to stop buying. And you know, it might inspire me to actually expand my eyeshadow, because clearly I tend to go more towards the mid-range. I should really focusing more on drugstore and luxury to kind of round out my collection. Over here in the first 5 drawer on top, we have my everyday makeup basket. And I think now that I have this here and all my makeup collection right here, it's gonna be a lot easier to film those. So I'm thinking of filming those a bit more often. Let me know if you guys would be interested in seeing those. This next drawer, we have primers. So I have primer brushes kind of back here. I like keeping them separate from my regular brushes. And then there isn't really a rhyme or reason to how I'm organizing things. I just kind of put them where they kind of felt, right? But I do have room here. I do want to experiment and try new primers, so I've got the room to kind of play with that. And these, I don't really bring up into my everyday makeup drawers since they're kind of right here. So I do want to leave them in here and have more storage for them. The next drawer is foundations, and I'm pretty happy with where this is now, especially now that it's in one of the bigger drawers. So these are the thinner drawers. This is the first deep kind of drawer, so if I do need to like stack, I can. But I am really happy with how this is right now. Next, we have the concealer and powders drawer, and I worked on this one for quite a bit, and I wasn't really happy with like the organizing. I couldn't figure out a way to like put the bins in to separate the concealers from the color correctors from the powders. This is what I ended up with. It might get changed again, but it's okay for now. And last but not least, we have the very bottom drawer, and this has the lipsticks on the right side, and the left side has like mascaras and liners. Boop. So on top of the desktop, I have my container for my everyday kind of makeup brushes. Currently the bottom is brown rice, but I wanted to put that in there because A, I think our brown rice is about to go bad, so I want to change this out. And B, I wanted to see whether or not I actually wanted to keep something in the bottom to hold the brushes up. So what I'm thinking is for like the eyeshadow brushes and for these brushes that have like foundation and concealer on them, I want some kind of medium in the bottom, but for the rest of the brushes they don't really need it. So eventually I am going to clean this out and buy like little beads or something to go in here instead, but I do like that I use this as an experiment before I went and I bought all of that. So I like that I have everything in one place. I like it has a cute little drawer for my sponges, and it works out really nicely. Over here we have another cork board. I like to keep coupons and just like reminders of what I want to buy, letters I have to write and everything. This is a tabletop mat from Amazon, and I got this because I scratched up the table and then I tried to paint over it and it did not turn out well. And I'm not about to sand the whole table and paint it, but you know, I'll do that later when we actually have a house and room and a garage to do that. But for now I can just put this nice tabletop, and it actually looks really nice in my top down video. So that was like a win-win-win. Over here we have the iMac. I've got remotes for the string lights and my ring light. I'm actually keeping my pen and palette here now. I think it fits over here perfectly. It keeps it out in the open. I can always see it. I can always reach for it. I love it right there. Underneath there is like just enough room to put the keyboard and the mouse, so it stores away nicely during the day when I'm not using it. This is actually a spot to charge my phone, but I love these phone holders. I can move around and kind of put the phone on, so I also have both of those ready. Moving on to this set of drawers, I'm going to go into the next set of 5 drawers, but I want to show real quick what's on top over here. I just have that big mirror from IKEA, and I have it facing the wall because whenever I have a mirror just facing out and I see myself moving in it, I scare myself every time. And I was tired of having like mini panic attacks throughout the day, so it has to face the wall, otherwise I will panic. That's the stupidest thing ever, but it's just me. And over here I have 2, those are actually old candle containers I've cleaned out, and that's where dirty brushes are gonna go. And then once those are full, I have to wash my brushes. I'm trying to get better at it. Alright, so moving on to the next set of 5 drawers. Up here we have what I'm calling the new products and testing station. So anything that I have that it's new, anything that I want to review and I need to be able to reach for and test, anything I'm saving for a new best and worst of black lipsticks video, it's all gonna be here. This is going to be super helpful moving forwards, just so I can like keep everything organized that I want to try out and test, because previously I would just keep this in my everyday makeup basket and that was just making that drawer really messy and non-functional. So I'm glad I now have space for this. The next drawer is kind of like office supplies. So I've got pens, I've got my to-do list over here, I've got some notebooks, I got my scissors. This is just kind of an empty little container. I don't know if I'm going to use anything for it yet, but this previously was like up here and it kind of cluttered the space and I didn't like it, so I'm glad I now have a drawer for it. The next drawer, I have sponges. These sponges are $1 from Shop Miss A and they're my favorite sponge, and I now have enough so that I can use up quite a bit of them before I have to wash them all. And actually I've been doing kind of the cheaty way of doing things, but I found out if you use like super sensitive detergent, you can literally just throw these in the washing machine and wash them. And I've done that and it's been the best thing ever. But since I have so many sponges, I'm just gonna keep them in a drawer, clean ones on this side, dirty ones on this side, and then when that side is filled, I'll wash them. This next drawer, speaking of cleaning sponges, are all of my cleaning materials. So I have my brush cleaning soaps, my sponge cleaning soaps, my Cinema Secrets. This is my Sigma Dry and Set, which is actually really, really nice. A bit overpriced, but I love that thing. It really helps dry my brushes quickly and it keeps them nice and in shape. This is my current open brush soap. What's one of these that's just open? And that's what I bring that to the bathroom. That's how I wash my brushes. And last but not least, this bottom drawer just has everything that I would need for depotting extra open pans. I've got some magnets, I've got some empty pans back there, and while I don't think this really needs a whole drawer, I don't know what else I would put with this, so for now it's going to have its own drawer. Moving on to the last 9 drawers. In the top drawer we have setting sprays, and I put this container here because I thought it would be a really good idea to have it right up here next to the desk. Empties I want to repurchase. Right now, my empties basket, excuse the mess, is down here. So those are all my empties that I'm going to be reviewing in my next empties video. But there are quite a few products that I do want to rebuy. So either I'll take a picture of them, or I figured I could put them right here. And then whenever I place a Sephora or an Ulta order, I can just check to see if there's anything here that I need to rebuy. So I thought that would work out really well. In the second drawer, we have all of my sheet masks. I love buying sheet masks from Marshall's because they come in packs of 10 for $10. The best deal, because if you buy this right now at like Ulta, it's like $4.99. Don't do that. Buy it at Marshall's in the packs of 10. Here we have like backups for lotion, small lotions, and hand sanitizers. And then this is a little travel size perfume atomizer that I have to like put in my travel stuff, but I just put away all my travel stuff like a week or 2 ago and I don't want to pull it back out again, so eventually it'll go back in there. And then in the back I have all my Lush empties. I would usually also keep my Back to Mac empties in here, but they don't Back to Mac anymore. Shame on them. So now these are just all my empty Lush containers that I have to bring back to get a free face mask sometime. Next, I'm so happy with how this drawer came out in particular. These are all of like my makeup tools, face tools. I've got little mini samples up here. I've got some tape. This is a little free soap that I got. These are all my favorite face erasers. I've got poofs over here. I've got pencil sharpeners. I've got extra eyelash curlers. These are my favorite tools. I'm actually going to do a whole video about why every makeup lover should have one of these in their collection. But that's the best way to pull stoppers out of concealers and foundations and really helped you get everything out of the foundation. And then I also have some extra mirrors back here. But overall, I'm really happy with how that one turned out. Next, we have the technology drawer, which is going to be a little boring, but I have a bunch of just like extra cables. I've got thumb drives, I've got my little SD cards, I've got all of my tripods and everything. And then when this camera is not in use, it goes right here, and then the other tripod I'm using right now can go right there. This drawer is also mostly empty, but it's also going to be for bigger technology. So like this is my big mic that I use for sit down videos. And when I'm not using it, I wanted to kind of keep it together so I don't have to like pull everything apart and put it all back together every time I want to film. So the best way is just to kind of put it all back together like that. And then I just put that little container in here because I don't know if I'm gonna get anything else, maybe some more camera products or maybe new mics or something, because eventually I do want to upgrade this camera. I've had the same camera since like 2018, so I would like to get a new camera eventually. So I want to leave room for any other technology or tech equipment that may come. This has become kind of the extra storage drawer. I love these little containers from Shop Miss A. And then I have one of the last acrylic organizers that I did not use. So this drawer is just kind of for any leftover organization. The second to bottom drawer has all of like my everyday current nail products. So I have like acetone, nail oil, cuticle oil. I've got my nail glue. I've got the current glue on nails I've been using, my nail kit, and then my current file. And I just wanted to pull that out separately because this was taking up too much room and I couldn't declutter anything else. Everything else in here I feel like has a space. So I moved those up there, and now down here we have the rest of my like glue on nails. I have all nail polishes back here. I've got gel back there. I've got some nail tools. And I've got extra nail glues, and then this is like a nail polish thinner and some nail polish remover pads. And that's everything for this 9 drawer. And that is it for the reorganization of my entire makeup collection. I am so happy with how this turned out. It was a lot of work. I think in my time filming this, it's been at least like 2.5 weeks between the declutter and the reorganization. But I'm so happy with how everything turned out. And I'm so excited to just spend more time here, you know, let my collection kind of fill in these new spaces and film more in my collection. And I'm just really happy with how it turned out. So before we go, if you like videos like this, more like declutter, reorganize, kind of apartment themed videos, make sure you check out my vlog channel. On the vlog channel, we did do the big office reorganization project, and I have the rest of my apartment projects on there as well if you are interested, including a bunch of moving vlogs. So if you want to see content like that, make sure you check out the vlog channel. If not, I cannot wait to see you in my next main channel video. Bye.